speaker is actually our annual member. Her name is Hayley, and she's awesome. She's an awesome human being. And according to a wealth dynamics profiling system, which is invented by Roger Hamilton, our founder, she's a mechanic. And this is like a nightmare for me because sometimes I don't understand how these people exist and how the brain is working, because they are good at systems and processes. And I'm a star, and it's a nightmare because I cannot do any spreadsheets, and I feel exhausted after 1 minute of looking at a spreadsheet. So Hayley is a mechanic, and she's a business coach, and she's passionate about helping entrepreneurs to acquire their freedom through automation. And she's passionate about helping people, businesses, create processes, systems, and all sorts of things that can help them run their businesses while being in the flow, right? And this is why she's here, and she is going to teach you some awesome tips and tricks. And please give warm welcome to Hayley Weatherburn.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming. Can you all hear? Yeah? Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come. And yes, as a mechanic, we actually don't like stars sometimes because because they can drive you crazy in regards to systems and processes that work well, but stars like to go over here and do their own thing. But yeah, so welcome to the power of efficiency, doing more in less time. I'm very passionate about systems and processes. I know that sounds kind of strange for some people, but ever since I was a young child, probably not that young, but about 14, I was always organising and systemizing. My parents actually said to me I spent more time organising my study calendar than actually studying. So that's grown through businesses. Through every business, I've always ended up being the person that teaches all the new systems and the processes. Up until now, I'm helping international companies manage teams around the world so that they can scale large, so they can be scalable, so they can grow and easily without causing any problems. Have you ever been in a company where you feel like it loops, like conversations, you're like, I've already said this before, I've already done this, why isn't the systems and processes in place? And you feel you can fly a lot quicker. So today my main process is to actually get to understand you guys as well, help you, so you walk away with maybe a bit more organisation, more systems and processes. So it's going to be a bit more interactive, and it's going to help you on an individual level, in the personal realm, as well as in business. So let's get going. So the best way to be efficient is to have a vision and focus. I want to keep it really, really simple. And so what I'm going to talk about today is the vision. When you've got the big project, whether it's personal, a long-term goal, or maybe it's the vision that you want to take your business in. Maybe it's something that's never been created before, therefore there's no examples of how to put systems in place. And so we're going to talk about the vision and then how to break it down into bite-sized chunks. I always used to like the talk, the saying, how do you eat an elephant? Only one bite at a time. Even though I'm vegan now, I wouldn't eat an elephant. How do you eat a big sack of hay? No. Vegans eat more than that. That's why they come here. Okay, so then we're going to talk about focus, the importance of doing just one thing. Does everyone find that they're doing something on their phone, they're also got about 18 tabs open and 17 windows open, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere? Has anyone ever felt that before? Yeah? Yeah? And often you get to the end of the day and you're like, I worked so hard, but I actually don't think anything got done. So we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to share with you all my tips and tools, that random things that I found that help me save time. So these are the fun random things that you use, Chrome extensions, little apps, lots of different things that help me be more efficient, so that even the minute thing of finding something on your desktop, those little things can be really, really powerful in actually moving forward. And when you start from there, I don't know if you've heard of Fung Shui. Has anyone heard of Fung Shui? You know how things flow a certain way? It's the same in business. If you have all your systems set up, if you know exactly where that file is and exactly where that is, you don't waste a lot of time finding these things. Now, before I go on, I want to find out a little bit more about what you guys do, because then I can tailor this to help you all. And I want to help you with your business and yourself. So what do you do? Where do you struggle with being efficient in personal business life? And was there anything specific you were hoping to hear today? So do we have another microphone for... I'd love to just make some points, just that way I can tailor it and answer some questions. So who wants to go first of, like, what do you do? What is it, your business? Is there something that you're struggling with in the business at the moment? Feel free to pop your hand up and the microphone will come your way.
Ed, you have
anyone? Anyone?
Yeah? Do you want to share? Okay. Kelly, you want to share? Yeah?
Hi.
Hi.
So, we are setting up I guess it's a vision with two aspects to it. So there's going to be two websites.
Okay.
And one thing that I struggle with is being a visionary, but also wanting to put things in. It's like I want to be able to have this massive glass board that I can write everything on, but then have lists on the computer to delegate and have things to do. And I feel like I want to be able to have the vision, but also be able to... So I'm using Trello, but I also keep thinking like I don't know whether I need paper or something to help get it out visually. But also, I don't know if you've got any suggestions around that.
Okay. Yeah, so vision. Okay, so I'm just going to write some notes down. So vision, so you've got two websites. Yeah. I'm just going to take all this down, but we're going to be talking about Trello today, because I think it's the most user-friendly. For someone who isn't a systems person, it is the most user-friendly system that helps you get organised and have those bite-sized chunks we talk about. And so we'll talk about... So your main question is, how do you get it out there, and then how do you break it down?
Yeah, because it feels like it's all in my head, and I've got the vision, and it feels creative, and it feels like I can't just put it on a list, but I don't necessarily want to work with a mind map on the computer. I'm like, what's the best way for me to get it out of my head and into something that makes some sense?
Yeah. Because it's really hard as a visionary, as a creative. Like, we have... Sometimes you're thinking of something that's never been created before, and it's like, how do I put it into, like, steps and what's next?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll be going for a walk, and I'll have another download of another thing, and I'm like, where do I put that?
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Kelly.
Anyone else? Any questions?
Any questions? Yeah?
Yes, hi.
Hi. What was your name?
My name is Agnes.
Agnes, nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm from the Netherlands. And my problem is that I get distracted too easily. And I really need to work on that.
Okay, distraction. Oh, you're going to love one of my tools that I've got. Absolutely love that. Anyone else? Yep.
My name's Claire. I'm in marketing and PR.
Yes.
And I'm a control freak. And I struggle with delegation. I was just talking to Agnes about delegation, so I'd like to learn some tips on that.
Okay, delegation, yes.
That's awesome.
Actually, just so I can get more clear, can you bring the microphone back? With the delegation, what is it, the part that you struggle with, actually letting go of a baby that you want, you don't want someone else to do? Or?
Yeah, and just sort of knowing what someone else is capable of that I don't have to do, what they could be utilising their skills for, not feeling like I need to oversee every single part of it, being able to let go, you know, the typical control freak stuff.
Yeah, I'm just going to write myself a...
It's like a support group. I'm so-and-so, I'm a control freak. I'm so-and-so, I have problems with focus. That's so awesome.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Awesome. Anyone else? I'm excited because I've actually got those things covered in this talk. Yay! It makes me happy. Okay, thank you so much. Let's keep going. Okay, so let's talk about the vision and chunking it down. So this is something, Kel, that will... So the vision, of course, is the dream, the desire, the image. You're walking, you're having a shower. I get most ideas in the bath or the shower or walking, and you bring it down. It's like, where do I put it? How do I put it up? Like, I don't want to lose this. Yeah? And so what I want to do is talk about... We're going to talk about... Oh, good. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is write it down in detail. And Trello is an amazing, because Trello has an app as well. You know that, right? So Trello is a great space for, actually what I might do, let's move. Here's Trello. This is, I've made a special little Trello board for Genius Cafe today. So this is how I like to sort of bring in the vision. When you're having your brain dump, this is where you have one section for the brain dump, because the brain dump needs to have no boundaries. It needs for you to just be able to express and put down. And so you may come along and you've got something and you're like, oh, it's something about the website, right? And so you can open this up and you can add attachments, you can add a picture, something from the website you saw, or maybe there's a video, maybe there's an audio. I often walk with my phone, and there's a audio thing that you can record, a little voice thing. It's like, oh, I'm getting an idea, I'll record it, and then I'll save it to my brain dump section of Trello. So a section where you have free flow of information and you just put it down, 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 right? Does that make sense? There's no audio in here. I just have an audio called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an audio. You can find any app that just does, yeah, you can save it as an attachment. Yep, you can see up there, there's members. Do you like my pointer? That's professional. So you can add members and things later down the track. So Trello's a great tool to start with. There's three great softwares like Trello. There's Asana, and then there's Podio. Trello, I think, is the greatest place to start. If you're an entrepreneur, there's maybe only you and a few people. It's a great place to start before you're expanding. Then you've got Asana. I haven't used, so I can't comment too much. But and then there's Podio. And Podio for me, as Scott would know, is my little baby and my love. But it's for a company that is it's expanding and has different. Many different aspects to it, like products and online and events and this and that. So you can sort of move around, and it's a bit too expansive for people when they're starting. So that's why I like to recommend Trello to start with. So this is where you can download that. You can add comments later on. You can go, oh, I thought of this. I just want to add a comment. You can @ and tag members. It's a great section. So let's... So this is where I just have a brain dump section where it doesn't matter where it goes, it comes to. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about how I use the rest of it in a second. But I just want to go back to the vision. Okay, so these are the things that you want to actually make sure do. The first thing is why. Why do I want to do this? The reason is because when times get tough, if you don't have a why, you'll just forget it. And as a creative, you'll just find something else that's all pretty and amazing and another shiny object to do. And you want to get really clear on your why. Why do I want to complete on this vision? I see a grin there. We all like shiny objects. They're amazing. This is a chance. Who is involved? Who will this affect? What are the types of people I'm looking for? Write down your ideal, what are the traits in me that I know that can do this job? And what is it about this job that's specific? So write down the details of who it's involved with and what their traits are and what their skills need to be. Do they need to know a specific software? Do they need to know something? And just get really clean and clear on who is involved and who it will affect. Where this may not be relevant for some people, but if you need to get details of your location or if it's online, like what softwares do you want to use? What are the things that you know are going to need to do? Are you going to need to design your own software, own type of thing? Are you going to need an IT web developer to create the software that you want because your creative mind has created something that hasn't even been born yet or exist yet? So this is all part of that brainstorm session. And then with all this information, you're going to start the brain dump time. Write down everything that needs to get done, and I want you to get really specific. And this doesn't happen in one set time. You don't just, as a creative, you don't just sit down, okay, now I'm going to be creative. It comes at random times. So the point is to have something set up so that you can come and write these things down when the time happens, when you have that spontaneous thought, you have a conversation with someone that sparks this. This goes straight into my Trello. You click Trello on your phone, open it up, brain dump, blah, 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 And it's there, it's saved, and it's no longer floating in your head anymore. Now, maybe for some people, it might be, especially if you have a vision that involves many different things. Maybe you've got a project that involves building an app. It also involves a website. It also involves, it may have many different things. So if you have a really big vision, thank you, wind. Thank you, wind. Looks like Superman. So here's your project or dream. Can you read that, understand that scribble just then? Then in project management, you have what's called deliverables. So it's an ugly word. I've never really liked that word. I like chunks. So maybe like, Kel, you've got 2 websites, right? Website 1, website 2. And then you might want to break down all the different things that need to happen in these different areas. So you can chunk it down. And in Trello, what you can do, let's go into Trello. You can actually have many different boards. This is an example of my board. I have personal boards and then brainstorming boards. And so, for example, does anyone... they have a lot of social media, they've got to post and they've got to think out loud, they've got to think ahead, and marketing you definitely would. But when you sit down to the allocated time of doing that, you think, I don't know what I'm going to post for the next week. But during the week, you're looking through Facebook, you're looking through lots of things, you go, oh, how am I going to get this? So here's an example of my content library. I've got a completed section, and then there's ideas, quotes, because we all love pictures and quotes. This is tips that I can do little videos on, strategy tips to share, images that I was inspired by that I could use later, daily strategy, that's the daily strategy of the social media, what I would like to post, and then completed. And so you have a space, again, where you can just literally paste a link to something that you want to post. And then in your allocated time for marketing, you can just come into the content library and you go, sweet, now I've got things to populate Buffer or... does everyone know what Buffer is? Buffer is like a future posting social media tool, which is great if you want to sit down for an allocated time for an hour and set out your next week or month or 3 months or something. Does that help? The content library? Yeah. And so what I was saying for you, Kelly, is you could either have... There's many different ways of doing this. You could have... I break these down. So here's the business to-dos. Like, there's my brain dump side. This is the current focus. So what I actually want to work on now, and I'm going to talk about that soon. I'll drag over at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day before, I'll drag over what my current focus needs to be. And then as I work through it, I'll move it into in progress and complete. So there's a process to it all. It's like a Kanban. Has anyone heard of Kanban? It's a Kanban process. They can do, and you can send it straight from Trello. You can literally go into a card in your brain dump, go move this to the business to-dos or whatever. So you can have a brainstorm and then move it over to there. But with your brainstorm, you probably want to then brainstorm it down to the actual tasks. Yeah, because you don't want something that's so big that sits in progress for weeks, because it's not motivating, is it? You don't feel like you're getting anything done. So you want like... do website landing page or something that's a little bit more chunk size, so you feel you're accomplishing like a boss. And then, of course, like I said here, these are all my brain dump ones where I'm just like, I need a space to just brain dump lots of information. And so for you could have a brain dump for one website or one business, and then you could have a brain dump for another business, and at least then you've got sections to go to, and then you've got your Kanban board that you send it up to when you start working on. Does that all make sense? Does anyone have any questions? It's all about breaking it down. Okay. And so... once you've got all these things, what I like to do is called the 90-day planner. I've been doing these planners since I was 14, as I said. And I want to give you an example of what a planner looks like. Work with me. Thank you. My special assistant, the wind. Okay, so this is the 90-day planner, and it looks something like this. I do have a video on YouTube, so later on, if you want to do this yourself, you can watch the video on YouTube. So I get 90 days, and I rule it up. What is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I rule up 90 days. Generally, I find something about this big, and it's 6 by something. I can't remember what it is. You got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I want you to have one main goal for that 90 days. And like a reasonable big goal, like I want to get 50 new members into my online course in 90 days. I want to, what's got a health, I want to lose weight or whatever it is by a certain, pardon? Want to launch the website in 90 days, right? And so that's your goal. That's your big goal, and you put your big goal down here, and there's other things you do, and I say that in the, right? Let's say it's launch the website, yeah? That says launch website. And you'll have 3 months. It'll be divided into 3. And so each month you kind of want to sort of have, what do I want done by the end of this month? What do I want done by the end of this month that's going to achieve this goal? So we're starting to chunk it down, yeah? And then again, so you've got to allocate this time, take some time. I always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You'll end up being convoluted, you'll waste more time. That's why it's all about being efficient. You spend the time doing something like this and you think, oh my God, I'm wasting time, I'm not actually doing the work. This will get you doing the work much quicker, and you'll achieve things far better, and you'll actually feel better because you'll be able to see what you're doing. 90 days, and you've broken down your goals. Then what you can do is you can go back and go, what's my daily sort of mini goal that's going to achieve this? And you can go in and do that. Then what happens when the 90-day planner starts, you literally go, okay, it's Monday. What's my mini goal? My one thing for the day. Oh, I have to get a logo done. That's it. And it feels like the pressure, because you know that you're gonna just by doing this logo here, you're going to get here, and it takes the pressure off, and you feel like you've got breathing room, and you enjoy the process as you go. Does that make sense? When you get to the end of the week, it's always good to reassess. Did I try and commit too much? Another thing to look at is, am I going to push through and make something really hard, or am I going to try and enjoy the process as well? Are you here for a journey, or do you want to do Gary Vee style and actually go, you know what, I want to do 20-hour days and I want to get as much done as possible? So that's a decision you want to make as well. Do you want a lifestyle, or do you want to focus on getting something done really quickly? So that's something to take in mind, because you might come to the end of the week and go, okay, I wanted to get a logo and 7 blogs written that day, and that was just not achievable. So you've got to take the pressure off yourself. So it's a good thing to look back on as well. Does anyone have any questions on the 90-day planner? Yes.
Where do you design this fucking calendar?
Pardon?
Where do you design this calendar?
Where do you design it?
Yeah, 90 days calendar.
Where do you, on a piece of cardboard. Oh, I've got a YouTube video. I have a YouTube video that teaches you how to rule it up. I'm a big believer in taking the time to rule it up, creating it, making it pretty, making it yourself. When you commit to this, you actually become part of this, and it actually gets it done. But one day maybe I will design one and have it for sale.
That's what you should do, probably. And then copyright it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yes, that's it. And be realistic. Sometimes launching a website, depending if it's a certain amount of pages, if it's like a full thing that's never been done before, 90 days may not be achievable, and maybe it is. But you actually have to start, have the goal, and be okay to move the deadline if you need to. But yeah, you definitely need to work backwards. And the way to work backwards is in that Trello. You've written down, in that brainstorm, you've written down everything that needs to get done for it. And you have a look, and you go, is that achievable? Can I put that in my 90-day calendar? And then you feel good about it. You feel excited. It's not overwhelming. Then you can move forward with it. Yeah? Well, so this is day 1, day 2, day 3. So this is the one thing that you want to get done, because you've broken it down inside your Trello. Let's go across here. Where's my Genius Cafe Did I know? Where is it? There it is. Thank you. So you've written everything that needs to get done for the website. And so maybe this isn't Genius Cafe, this says website, and then this is the brain dump of everything that needs to get done inside the website. And so then that's what you bring across into here, and you go, okay, can I do a logo in 1 day? Is that reasonable? Well, maybe I'll give myself 2 days. So over the next 2 days, my focus is logo, right? And then the next thing is a blog article or something. And then you can start allocating this all and have it up on the wall, and you step back and you go, okay, this is good, I can do this. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed, then you need to break it down further. Because you want to feel like you're doing something every day. There's nothing worse. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Oh, so you mean you're actually going back down here rather than there? Yep, definitely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to do that, to think of, and also to think of what do I want to have done by then and work that way. But yeah, that's a great way, definitely. Does anyone else have any questions on that? Confused faces, yeah? Yeah, exactly. You can use Google. You can use a calendar if you don't want to take the time to have the cardboard and write it out. I just find I like to have a I think it's 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters space where I can write and really think. And creative people like to get in and play, but some people don't. And so that's okay. Exactly. Well, if it's next, mine's actually this big, isn't it? You've seen it. My 90-day planners, they're this big. They're like 1.5 meters by 1 meter. And so they sit right where I work. So I can't miss it. And I'm always looking up, what do I need to do? Because what you can also populate it is, and this is something really interesting, is you do the next 90 days, and before you even put your to-dos in, you actually go, what's happening in my life? You go, oh, someone's visiting for that week. How much work am I actually going to get done in that time? So it's also good to see. I've done a 90-day planner thinking I'm going to get this much done, and then I look, and there was like 2 weeks where I was entertaining guests, and I was like, well, that's just, that's taking out my time. Because a lot of us, we are our businesses, and our businesses are us. So it depends on your personal life as well. Gantt charts. For big organisations and projects, yes. If it's just yourself and it's a few staff, you can use Gantt charts. You can, yeah. But I'm just talking mainly for people who don't have Gantt chart minds. Because a lot of creatives, it's really hard to look at that. So I like to create something that's a little bit there. But definitely Gantt charts, Google, those tools are really, really helpful. And you can do all of that in there as well. So yeah, with alarms. Round the corner for 30 cents. Seriously, 3,000. In Sanur, there's a stationary place opposite in the traffic lights. You guys know the traffic lights that are just down here. You keep going straight. Before it turns, just on the left-hand side, there's a little stationery shop. It's open from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. Come to me afterwards and I'll... Oh, you get lots. I've bought many. Okay, so let's get back to... So, and another other reason I like to pick 90 days is it's a good chunk of time to be able to get something amazing done, but it's also small enough to actually have focus on. You can have a small focus. You're not being overwhelmed by the whole year. So I was going to do an example, which is what I've been doing. Is there anyone that wants to break down a long-term goal or anything? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. The wind's really helpful, actually. Okay, so what do you think you can get done in 90 days? What's a thing that you would love to do?
Launch a website.
Okay. Launch website. How are we going on time? What is the time? What are we good? Okay. This is hieroglyphics and it says launch website. Okay, so tell us a bit about this website.
Okay, so there's two aspects to it. One is the more social video style website, sharing stories and blogging.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the product side of the website, which is selling CBD oil. So that's going to be, needs to be a separate website because of the way the industry is, but it's going to be part of this.
Right, so it's one website, but it's actually two websites. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say launch website, are you talking about both?
Both, yeah.
You're actually talking about both?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you can, the mind can focus on 2 to 3 projects at a time. When you start focusing on more than two to three projects, that's when you can start getting overwhelmed and nothing get done. So that's just something to keep in mind. But two websites. But let's pretend that's not the 90-day planner. So you said there's a social aspect to it. So there's a blog.
Yep, and a TV blog and video series.
So
yeah,
this is a TV blog.
Video blog.
Video blog. Okay, yeah.
A vlog, yeah.
A video blog and then a
I guess it will have a blog as well.
a written blog. You guess? Who's writing it?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, it will have a blog as well.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, these are the questions you got to ask.
Yeah.
What else is in there?
There's going to be pictures and quotes and memes on there.
Yep. Is it?
The web shop's not going to be on that. It will be on the other website.
So there's a shop.
So there'll be a web shop. Yeah.
Why isn't the shop on the?
Because of the product, the specific product, it needs to have its own website.
Okay.
Because of the laws of the product.
Okay. So there's not going to be a shop on the other website though?
There's going to be products on there. So yeah, potentially there'll be
there's
joint
two
venture.
shops.
Yeah, there's 2 shops.
Okay. Is there anything else to this?
Coaching. Coaching and there will be an online program.
Okay, an online course.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to do that in 90 days?
It doesn't all, like the online course is going to be next year.
Okay.
So that will be the platform for it, but the online course won't be live.
It won't be housed there, but it'll be, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so my mind goes a million spaces already, but I know I'm aware of time and I want to make sure. But so now we've got to look at the priorities of what we need to do, because there's some things like you've got your video blog, and I'm assuming the ones that's written you're going to write from your videos, right? Or are they going to be completely different?
No, they can be different.
They can be different? So this is where I like to, creatives get challenged because I always like to ask the
Yeah, they
details.
will be.
It's like, I don't know, it's just going to be amazing and it's pretty and there's going to be written stuff.
Yeah, so sometimes I might do a blog and sometimes I might do a video. So sometimes I might do a written one or a piece of writing, and then another time it'll be a video.
So this is actually just going to be one blog, but it's going to have both. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I can already, it just depends on how details, like when you say launch the website, how much of the blog do you want written, how much, I'm not going to get you to answer it because I want to actually keep moving and do some other things, but we've started asking these questions, and did you hear how I started asking more questions? Like, because we get, as a person who likes systems and processes, I'm always asking how. So who's going to write the blog? How is it going to look up on there? What's the process of every time the blog's going to get written? Am I going to write that every Tuesday and Thursday, and then I'm going to do a video on Wednesdays? So you start thinking about how is it going to get done? The products, like I think of the photos. Who's going to think of the prices? Who's going to think of... So all these things, I start thinking of the details and breaking that down. And so this is all done on Trello, right? This is even before you've got to the calendar. And start thinking how And how is that done? And then how is that done? So breaking it more down. And then you'll start to see, is it realistic? And you'll work out, when I launch the website, what does it actually need to, for me to have launched it, does it need to have 10 blogs already done? Does it need to have, how many products do I need to have on there? So let's define launch website as to what you want in there by the time you launch it. And what does that mean? Does that entail 2 weeks of launching it to the public in social media? Does it, or is that when that starts, you just want the website completed? So see how I'm asking all these questions? So that's what you need to start asking inside Trello. And then you'll come back and you'll go, okay, you know what? Let's just say, I know that I can get the blog done in 2 weeks, right? So the first 2 weeks, I'm just going to focus on the blog. This is just an example. I'd normally ask for a lot more details and things. And then it's going, the products, then I'm going to focus on the products for the next 2 weeks because I've got all the photos, and by then I've been able, you know, in the background here, I've hired someone to take all the photos of the products and things. And then the next focus is coaching. I've decided on the coaching. So you can break it down into weeks, and then you've got that focus. Does that help? Yeah? It's hard to do, because I'm a detail person. That doesn't, I just want to ask 1,000 questions, but that's not going to help. So that, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for being my little example there. Okay, so this is the focus side of things. Let me just have a quick look. Creative. Distraction. Follow one course until successful. Has anyone ever sat down and go, okay, I'm going to finally write this article or whatever it is, and then you go, oh, but first I'll just quickly check my emails. All right, okay, I'll check my emails. Okay, now it's wanting me to do, I've got to go and check that thing in banking. All right, okay, I've got to go do this, and then 12 o'clock comes, it goes, I better write that article. You get distracted by things. We have notifications that pop up on our laptops. We have those red dots, those darned red dots on our iPhones that we just have to clear. That's me. I'm a type A personality. And so in this day and world, it's so hard to focus. And so we have to be really clear with our lines, and we have to have use our will and power and go back to that why. Why do I want to complete this? Why am I closing myself off to the world to focus on this one thing? Because I really believe in what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to show you some really cool tips in a second. Now, this is Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is how he talks about priorities. When you, because you have that list of things to do, right? And you don't know what's important, what's not. So, has anyone seen this before? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So what's important and urgent? They're the things that we think are important. You know, the phone calls and then the email I've got to respond to, and the spot fires that we end up spending so much time inside here that what's important but it's not urgent, like the blog article, like getting this website done, like getting the photos, getting it all ready and organized for it. That is our favorite place, our favorite quadrant we want to be spending time, and we want to allocate a lot of time in our week towards important and not urgent, yeah? And not get too distracted with this, yeah? 3 and 4 are not important, but they're urgent. So this is obviously business phone calls and things, important emails that we may have in meetings. And then this is not important, but it's urgent. It's someone's, you know, quick, watch this YouTube video. The cat's amazing. You've got to stop and watch it. And so you do. So, yeah, I have a tool to stop that. Don't worry. I found it because I needed it. That YouTube, what is it called? The YouTube tangent that you go on. And you went originally with an innocent idea. You were watching a YouTube video on how to prioritize. And then you ended up watching Jimmy Fallon. Not important, not urgent is Jimmy Fallon. You know, the things that aren't really, that we shouldn't spend time in, but we do. And so Stephen Covey talks about the people that are the most successful, that achieve their goals, spend most of their time here in this quadrant, right? And so it's about planning your week that way. So this is one of my favorite planners. It's called a passion planner. It started as a Kickstarter, this amazing woman. She comes to Bali sometimes, actually. And this passion planner I love it because it's so open and blank. It gives you a space to be creative. And it's how you can plan your week. This one's not dated, which is great, because have you ever used a diary and there's like 3 pages that are empty because you didn't get into it and you didn't do it? You can actually just date it. So if you missed a week, it's all right. You can just do the next page and you haven't wasted anything. And so what you want to do is thinking about your priorities. Once you've got your list and you've prioritized everything, you can start to go, what's this week's focus? That's what that says here. This week's focus, right? So what is the one thing? Come back here and you go, oh, the one thing is blog. So this week's focus is blog. So you'd write that in. Yeah? And so then you'd put your chunks, your big chunks of the time of where you put all those things, those meetings that you have that you can't change, your exercises, that might be one of your priorities, so pop that in. I always like to believe the first few hours of the day are your time to, turn off the phone, don't even look at your emails, don't even look at your notifications, and actually give yourself you time and chunk that out and really, really stick to it. And then you go blog, right, when's the time that I can allocate to that? And this is something I want to say here. Emails, check them twice a day. Why are you shaking your head? Yeah.
I'm always afraid that I miss things. And I'm a journalist and I work for Dutch magazines and there's a time difference. So I feel like I have to always check my emails but also my social media because that's also an important part of my work.
Yeah, with journalism, that is, if the volcano exploded, you'd have to run.
Well, no, I don't write about volcanoes, but more lifestyle topics. But yeah, I always feel like I miss something if I'm not present, especially with the time difference situation.
What would be something that would be time specific for you that you think if you didn't read the email as soon as it came in, it would be bad?
I work for clients that I was working for when I still lived in Amsterdam. And when I moved, I guaranteed to them that nothing would change in the way that I worked. And when I still lived in Amsterdam, I would respond within, half an hour unless I had an appointment or something.
Okay.
And now that I live here, I notice that I'm scared to lose my work. So I still respond anytime. So I won't go to bed ever before midnight because, then it's 6 o'clock in the Netherlands. So I always feel like I have to catch up with my home country. And that is a little bit tiring sometimes.
So yeah, I can understand that. So there's 2 things I would have. I'd have a conversation with your clients and say, how important is it for me to get back to you within 30 minutes on some things, Because what you do with the 2 times emails is you put an alert and you say, I now check my emails twice a day. If this is urgent, then reach out through, have like a WhatsApp number or a whatever. If this is urgent and needs to be done before 4 p.m., then message me on WhatsApp. And so it takes the responsibility back. And do you know what? I reckon 80% of the things that you think are urgent might not actually be.
That could be true, yes.
And then all of a sudden you've got all this space and breathing room and you can get things done, because if you're constantly checking your email and constantly checking your notifications, you never get anything done because you're chasing your tail.
And I cannot focus, no.
Exactly. You can't focus because your mind's like, that was me the other day, except for me it was the volcano. I was checking the volcano's activity, and that I wasn't fully focused on my work at all. But yeah, so I would suggest having a conversation, because and your clients will know that. They'll genuinely, they know that you care about them. You're like, I care about you and I want to make sure I give the service you want. But if I went to 2 emails a day, would that be okay? And if I gave you a WhatsApp number that if it was urgent and you needed me within a half an hour, would that be okay? And you'll probably find it'd be fine. Yeah.
So you're Class A personality, do you have it on your phone, your email, or do you have it like just on like a separate platform?
Yeah, so
because otherwise you keep on looking, and as soon as it pops up, you look at it. It's almost like that instant gratification.
That's a great question. Do you know what I do? I go into iPhone settings and turn off notifications. So there's some things that I have and I turn off the red dot. I hate the red dot because it drives me bananas, and I do. If there's a red dot, I kind of have to stop and look at it. Like, not because it's urgent, just because I like a clean, you'll see I have an organised iPhone. Everything's in folders. But yeah, so I go in for things like that. For emails, I don't want notifications, so I'll turn them off. because I want to go in when I want to go in. I don't want pushed. I don't want it to push through the emails. Only when I open it will it go in and receive the emails. If something's important, so important that they need you right now, guess what? They'll call you or they'll send an SMS. They'll find you somehow. But put that information in an automatic email. People start to get to know. And then all of a sudden you have that breathing room to focus. Does that help? Are you a type A personality?
I don't like the things popping up.
Yeah. So I control the settings of my notifications.
There was actually a research that opening emails and text messages releases dopamine. And this is how we get attached and addicted to the phones. So it's psychologically approved fact. So this is why, the notifications are not good for us.
Yeah, they're not.
It just destroys everything.
They're not. And especially if you're sitting, have you ever sat with someone and you're having dinner and then their phone just keeps beeping and they keep looking at it and it's just like, come on, like turn it off or hide it or whatever, you know. So it's a really powerful thing to get your life back, is to control notifications. If there's something important, of course, if you needed to know that something was happening for your business, of course, maybe streamline it so those notifications you get. But yeah, it's really important because if you want to be successful, if you don't want to find that you've wasted a whole month because you were chasing emails, people wanted this, and we get distracted by, that's what that first quadrant was, chasing tails, putting out fires, all those kind of things, and you're not actually building and creating what you want to create. Yes?
Because usually you are not dealing only with notifications, but you are dealing also with expectations of other people who are sending you stuff, expecting them to answer instantly. And like how to deal with it? We had one solution, but do you have any tips?
So do you mean like this is a communication? How are you communicating? Through email or through?
Email, WhatsApp, Viber, like Slack, just zillion.
Okay, so yeah, communication in a business. I was in a business that used Viber once, and Viber you can't sign out of. Like Zoom you can sign out of if you want a little bit of a break from all your notifications. You can sign out of that. If you want instant response. Of course, don't send it to an email. You have somewhere where you choose. I don't know why you've got like 4 different communication areas, but that must be hard. Because then you send one message you haven't heard for it, and then you send it in this one, and then you send it in this one until someone answers one of them. So this is where you start managing expectations. If I send you a WhatsApp is urgent, but then don't abuse that, you know. So then be really clean and clear, like what is actually urgent in the business. Does that person need to know that right now? And becoming really clear with that. But yeah, maybe you pick one of those communication tools as if you get a message in that form, then that means we need you now. Does that help? What did you come up with? What was the solution that you came up with?
I'm trying to streamline communication, so it's like with the laundry. Like with the laundry, you are not going running with pair of socks and just dropping this pair of socks to the washing machine. You're just waiting to this communication to pile up.
Yes.
But yeah, I just got some new phone, and like suddenly all these notifications became like it's big disturbance of everyday life. And then I got what you hear. And this is like a FOMO, fear of missing out, started to appear as...
FOMO. Who suffers from FOMO, fear of missing out? Might be something about the volcano. Yeah. So that's in a communication in the organisation, you have to be really clear across the whole organisation. This is how we're going to communicate now. And you have to end up being a little bit like, hey guys, because there's 2 different types of communications. There's asking someone to do something, and that should be a task or something. I don't know the background of how you guys send, like, can you do something? Do you use Trello or do you use...
We use Basecamp, but now we're starting using Trello within our local team here.
So, yeah, so to ask someone to do something needs to be actioned, use Trello. Don't message them as well. Because some people are like, oh, can you just go and do that for me through communication? And it's like, that person will forget because 7 seconds later someone messaged and just asked them about something. Communication in those threads should just be, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think? Okay, cool, thank you. Now I'm going to send a task off to someone else to do. So it's getting really clear with that.
I turned off the blue check marks on my WhatsApp so nobody can see that I actually read it. And I also turned off when when I was online last. So that gives me a lot of time to, otherwise I feel the need, because what you mentioned, the expectations that you have to respond within minutes, and I don't want it anymore.
Sorry, that's really important. How do you do that?
Yeah, the settings, you can change that.
Yeah, because there is, isn't it? As soon as you read it, you think, like, why didn't they respond to me?
I'm really rude with that sometimes because I refuse to be there on call for anybody.
Exactly.
So sometimes I can't help having a look at it, but I think, no, I'm not answering that till this afternoon.
But that sits there in your mind too, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that is a problem. So.
Yeah.
I was just going to say my way of getting around it, because I've got clients in all sorts of time zones, which drives me insane.
Yes.
And I can't help but check WhatsApp. That's when you said the dopamine, I'm thinking, oh, that's why I'm addicted to it. And so I'll check it. But if it's not urgent to me necessarily, and the client possibly doesn't realise it's not urgent to them either, I'll just write a message back saying, I'm in a meeting, can I get back to you in 2 hours? Because then if I've given them a time frame, their expectations are met, I've given myself 2 hours to do whatever it is I need to actually get done, and then I'm not upsetting anybody.
Do you do that at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, I have really odd work hours, so yeah, occasionally I will, yeah.
So there's an amazing tool on your phone called Do Not Disturb. I use it all the time, especially at night time, because we have a team all around the world, and you get messages at 4 a.m. and all those kind of things, and you need to look after yourself. And we're in this day and age where people can just bombard you and you get nothing done because of all these notifications. So Do Not Disturb is a great tool if you actually want to sleep or you want to work on something. You'll still get the notifications and things, but it won't vibrate and it won't make sounds, and it gives you that focused time. This is really, really powerful. It's starting to get really strict on that. And having like a 2 hour span, I'm not going to look at emails. I'm not going to look at any notifications. I don't care what's happening. The next 2 hours, I'm going to focus on that. And the freedom you have, all of a sudden this power, and you get something done, it feels amazing. And you'll start getting addicted to that rather than the checking of the messages. So, okay, so this is the tips and tools. These are all the fun things. So set up your desktop for success. Who saves things on their desktop? Type A personality here. So when you save things on your desktop, it slows your computer down. This is my assistant. It slows. Yeah, he's out. He doesn't want to work on his desktop. It slows your computer down. And it's also, there's this overwhelming, and I know it's really interesting. I'm going to give an example of a friend. Her name was Deb. She's an amazing entrepreneur. And she got inspired because we would always Zoom and I'd be opening my desktop and all those kind of things. And she got inspired by it. And she said all of a sudden when she started to clear her desktop, the desktop is called a desktop because it's like a desktop. It should just be the things you're working on, just save it to your desktop, but then go and file it away later. I always like to finish the day by clearing my desktop. So you'll see, for some reason, I think it's because it's connected to this. Hang on, let's see what happens. There's my desktop. There's one thing on it, and it's this PowerPoint. So, and at the end of the day, I'll clear that. I'll make sure I clear my bin, clear that, because subconsciously, as much as you're not consciously looking at it, these things are going on behind the scenes. If you have those ideas that you don't put down in Trello, there's constantly something. You know when you hear your laptop working? It's working hard, it's working on something because it's slowing down. The computer starts slowing down. You don't know what it's working on. That happens to you as a human with your creative ideas. So get the creative idea, put it in Trello, and walk, and you can breathe and be fine again. If you have these systems to put it in place, then it's all there. So also, I only have here on the side, I put it on the side because I have a tiny little screen. I have a Mac Air. And I put it as small as I can so that it doesn't take up room. And I only put the things that I use on a daily basis on the side here. So I would get rid of other things because it's just sitting there wasting little your visual space. And there's a special tool. I think I get to it in a second. The other thing, yeah, I'll talk about the other tool in a sec. The other thing to have a really good thing is your bookmarks. Have some folders and have the main things that you work on at the top, your Gmail, whatever it is that you have at the top, the main tools in the middle. So you don't always have to search for bookmarks and things. The main websites, if you've just got them easily there to go to, then it's really, really... Again, these tiny, small little changes will start to free up your space because you know where it is all the time. Where is the... Sorry? So that is a Google Calendar, but I created the icon and I'm going to show you how to do that because it's really cool. Bookmark bar, an inspiring image. And to link with the 90-day goal, what you do is go into Canva, which is an amazing little free design thing. Create yourself a desktop that has the image of what you're going to reward yourself when you achieve your 90-day goal, and have the 90-day goal sitting there on the desktop, like I do with that Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Free, easy, all designs. I feel sorry for designers these days because the basic designs can be done so quickly in that. And just find an inspiring image, and normally this is just a quote that's inspiring me at the moment, but normally I'll have a 90-day goal or something there, and it's just something to remind yourself it's there in the background. Sorry for going in and out of the... Okay, tools. This is the fun stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go into... So focus. Agnes, this one's for you. So see up here in the right-hand corner, there's this little forest stay focused. This is a Google extension. And what you do is you click it, and you can say, I need to focus for the next 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Unlock this tree. Hang on. What's it doing? So you can actually build forests because of your focus. So what happens is, what's it doing? When you click, normally it's just got, thank you, 20, thank you. So you click that and you go, okay, I'm going to focus for 20 minutes. Click the tree to start playing. So now, you put in there Facebook, YouTube, all the things that you cannot go to and cannot get distracted by, and it will go into, so let's try and go into Facebook. Your tree is still growing. Don't go into Facebook. Do you know what happens if you kill the tree? If you give up? Are you sure you want to give up? You're going to kill your cute tree. Yes, I'm going to murder the tree. Oh, your tree is dead. Oh, let's get out of Facebook. So that's called Forest. It's a Google extension. And so what happens is you actually can get it on your phone as well. And you put it on your phone, and you can't do anything. You can't. I'm like, damn it, I put it on. And I can't kill a tree because I love nature. It's so weird, these little games that you put, but it helps you focus. I got so much done when I put that thing on. So yeah, so that's an amazing focus tool. And what happens is, what's also as a little bonus is the more forests you grow in a day, it will start contributing to planting real trees in places. So it's a nice little sustainability thing. I like forest. That's a cool... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't touch Safari unless for some reason I'm dragged into it. Momentum. Okay, so momentum is, you may have seen it when I open up a tab, it says, good evening, Hayley. What is your main focus for today? Oh, why, thank you. Also, sneaky marketing tip, they have a daily quote every day, and I copy that quote and I use it for my social media later on because they're really good. So continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Is everyone inspired? So you can put your main focus in today. It always has these amazing, stunning photos, and it does have a little to-do list as well that you can add to on the side here. So it's another little one. It's called Momentum, and that's a Google extension. Let's just open them all up. Improved tube. This is the YouTube one. So if you don't want to get distracted by cat tools, see up here in the right-hand side, improved tube, YouTube extension. Let's open YouTube. Okay, you can tell what I watch. I don't watch any of that stuff. Oh, it's actually Sienna's account. I was like, that's Rochelle. That's okay. Phew. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. So, up here, the improved tube turns red, and you can change the appearance as you want. So down here, the related sidebar, you can hide it so that you never see the related sidebar. So let's look at the biggest Looney Tunes Actually, let's refresh. I just want to refresh. Let's look at the biggest Popeye. Let's press pause. See how it went big and there's no sidebar now? You can't get distracted by YouTube sidebars now, and you can just watch the YouTube you want. And you can go in and turn it on and off. You can turn off comments if that's something that you do or whatever, but it's very powerful to watch Popeye. So that's called Improved Tube. It's another Chrome extension. That saved me a lot of time. Ooh, I don't know the answer to that question. The tree is good because then you can't do anything. The best thing to do is uninstall the app. I'm not a YouTube addict. I can delete it anytime I want. Fluid, we're going to talk about those. So Fluid is that fancy little app. So Google, I use my Google Calendar here, but Google Calendar doesn't have an app, right? Everyone can see what I'm doing. So what you do is there's a thing called Fluid. So let's find this little thing. See up the corner here, right-hand corner, Fluid. And so you can let's create an app with Fluid. You have a URL. Let's get a URL, Genius Cafe. Let's have a look. Genius, what is it? Genius Cafe Bali menu. I haven't looked that up before. So imagine if I wanted that permanently on my sidebar. So you can create that. Genius, create, and Fluid's going to do a little do-do-do. There may be one on PC. Most of them do both. Launch now. So check this out. Oh, look, it's using the logo. Look at that. So now I can permanently have the Genius menu on it's obviously icons, as I can just click that. And so you can I created that for Google Calendar because I didn't want to have to always go into Google to have a look at my calendar. I just wanted to get access to my Google Calendar. And you can change the icon picture and everything. I use it because it's much more user-friendly with a lot of people. Like it's on my phone. It can read everything that you're doing. Inside your email, it'll pull across any flights. I never entered any flights in my calendar. I booked them and then they appeared in my calendar. So Google's, yeah. So it's everyone has their preferences. I prefer Google. I don't know. It's just prettier. It's just, to me, it's more user friendly. But you have to go with what you use. That's the biggest thing. I have all these tips, but you know you better than I do. And so it's like, what am I going to use better? Yeah. So Fluid's great if there's any particular apps or websites that you always go to. You can create like your own website. Create a little thing and you can always just click that button. It's always there. Loom, I think, was the next one. Does anyone, they have tasks to do to tell people? Like, can you please, say for example, you wanted to tell your IT person to move the logo more to the left. There's a thing called Loom. See up in the right-hand corner where that arrow is? Loom is where you can quickly just do a video on your screen and say, so let's do one now. It's so really cool. It's also a Google extension, webcam if you want. Or not. If it's 2 a.m. and you look like crap, you don't have to. You can start a recording here. And it's just going to do the little thing. And it's just like, hey, buddy, like you put this here and it was meant to be over here. Can you fix that for me, please? Thank you very much. Done. and it's already got the link. You copy the link, send that to the person, and it's done. Like, it's so quicker, so much quicker than, see how it's already loaded? So, saves time in trying to explain something and write it down in detail and tell them how to do something. It was just a really handy tip. Will you? Yeah, sure. It's called Loom. I'll go to the actual website. Loom. Useloom.com. There you go. Use Loom. It's a Google extension as well. Does everyone know how to get Google extensions on their Googles? So they're all my different videos of just quickly trading. When you have the free version, it only keeps the video for 7 days, but most of the time you're just telling a task to get done in 7 days. So once you do, you just click the Loom little button up here. You find the website, hit start record, find the window that you want to talk about, just share it, and so it's going to count down for you. And then down the left, you'll see it starting to count down. You say, hey, buddy, you're amazing, I love you, but you screwed it up. Can you fix it here? Then click tick, done, and it creates it, and then copy the link. Really handy this day and age. Rather than trying to write it down and do that kind of stuff, it's just so quick. So Loom is a really good tool. If there's something that you want to keep for a longer term basis and you want to put it up on YouTube, you can use, not Zoom. Zoom's our communication tool. Where is it? ScreenFlow. But that costs about $90 or something. But ScreenFlow is an amazing tool. You can do many different things. But yeah, that's the one I used before Loom came about. Because when you do a ScreenFlow, you can literally link YouTube and upload it, and it'll do it all in the background for you as well. So that's another one. Yeah? Okay, I think, cool, awesome. Trello, Asana, and Podio. I think I've sort of already mentioned that. As I said, Trello, there's larger teams using Trello. It is really good because you can have your members, you can allocate tasks, you can create the Kanban of, all the tasks to do, what's working on, any questions and answers, and anything that's completed. And Asana, I've heard a lot of entrepreneurs and freelancers say that they love Asana, but I personally haven't used it.
Can you show Podio, please?
Can I show Podio? Podio. Probably. I'm just not sure because it's not my company's Podio, and I don't really. I'm inside Podio. Let's have a look here. I can probably show you just... Okay, so Podio is like a Facebook. I'll just show you this front page. This is all the activities that I'm involved in that I can see what's happening and going on down the side here. You can link it, and then there's different workspaces. So there's many different workspaces. Workspaces are who has access to what things. We've got events, we've got many different things. So you can build your whole company intranet in here. It's amazing for when you've got big companies around the world, but it's for someone who isn't system-minded, it's very hard to get your head around. And so, that's why Trello's already set up. It's got the infrastructure of you've got boards, you've got lists, and you've got tasks. So you can, it's a much, your infrastructure's there. Podio, you've got freedom to build the type of infrastructure you want, which is powerful. But yeah, with power comes complications sometimes. So yeah. Does that help? Yeah. If you want to know more about Podio, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it later. Sorry, it keeps doing this. Evernote. What? Paper. I haven't looked at paper. And I have to say, Dropbox, I moved away from Dropbox simply because you had to download, you couldn't just look at the thing there and there. Like in Google Documents, you can look and edit and do all sorts of things, and Dropbox lost me then. And it got really complicated, so I don't know much about paper. Slack, yep, Slack, I've used a little bit of Slack. Slack's mainly for communication, like for sending files, having files, storing files. This is inside Podio, for example, there's a lot of systems and processes, automated workflows. Once this happens and someone presses this button, that person gets a task automatically. You know, it's like full on. Slack, I know more for communication, but
it's the best communication tool in a company. So you move from Facebook, you don't have to open it up, and you can create different channels. For example, graphic design, events, or some general stuff. And in these channels, you create separate streams of communication. But it's like all the startups, even NASA, I think they use Slack because it's like the super awesome communication tool.
Yeah.
But it's not a project management tool. You have to link it to Trello or to something else because it's very hard to set up tasks. It's just mainly for communication. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of the cryptocurrencies use Slack as well these now. So if inside Trello is a lot of your brainstorms and things, Evernote, if you feel like you need to expand more, I use Evernote because Evernote is a really cool tool that you can... Has anyone used Evernote before? Oh, good. I don't really need to talk to you. Look, that's what I was going to talk about today. But yeah?
Actually, take a picture of a business card, and it will be automatically uploaded to your account, into your contacts.
Yeah. Evernote's powerful. There's normally a little elephant up here, and you can, snap something from a website. Yeah, we ate the elephant, so sorry, elephant. Google Drive to a certain point is free. Depends on...
15,
I think it's
15
gig.
Yeah, 15 gigs.
15 gig you can use. Up to 15 gig, it's free to use Google Drive. Google Photos, unlimited at a certain level. Obviously, if you're a professional photographer, you might want to keep, might want to pay for some that are a higher resolution. I'm not a photographer. But so Google Photos is amazing for... That's a whole nother conversation and thing. That's really, really powerful. But Google Drive is really powerful. When it comes to big organizations, it can be... There's one thing, but I'm not going to go into that it can get a bit messy. But I just think Google Drive has a lot more power than Dropbox. Dropbox hasn't caught up with that, in my opinion. Yeah, I would pick one and then start using that. I've steered away from iCloud. The Apple have, for some reason, made it so confusing with how their things link up. I've spent many hours trying to research that. Whereas Google Drive, it's literally throw it up there. It's there forever. You can have a Google Drive thing on your computer if you want and just put them in there and it'll match it. But if you want to stay so it's not taking up your storage time, you just put it up into straight into the Google Drive and it's there wherever you are. You've got an app on your phone. I mean, I think Dropbox does the same.